She's another one of your colleagues, I take it. A divine dilemma. Greetings, I am Quile of the Students of Baldisian. Do I have the pleasure of addressing Derek, the explorer who sought aid in investigating this place? Quile, who else is it going to be? Hello, monkey. Hi, I'm Derek, and this here is a baby Opopo. Yes, I can see that. Doesn't it have a name? None that I know of, nor would I presume to bestow one, for that would be condescending. I see. That's very considerate of you. So, I understand you explored the various phantom realms with Derek. Will you recount to me the experience? It was mostly me lying on the floor dead, if I'm honest. So, while the gods tested you sorely, you do not sense any malicious intent. As Beauregard said, they wish to do battle with us, but 'twould seem they do not necessarily wish to cause us harm. Almost like the conflict is powering something. Though much more about this perplexities, mayhaps it is safe to assume that they are not primals. As you may recall, Livingway once told us that the art of summoning as taught by the Asians incorporates the fervent desire to assimilate others into one's belief. Thus do the resultant primals seek to enthrall worshippers who in turn seek to grow their ranks. But these beings appear to harbour no such desire. If they are primals, then they are unlike those that have been summoned in recent memory. We might suppose they were created in antiquity in like manner to Hydaelyn. There's no way to prove it. Who could they possibly be? And why do they desire battle with man? Even of your little Eorzea, you know precious little. The true identities of the 12, for instance. It's that picture again. Another thing that Emmet has said coming to pass. Emet-Selch did say that, didn't he? By which we may assume he knew the truth, and challenged you to seek it out too. Suffice it to say you'll do so, of course. Insofar as we can ascertain, this is a matter which has implications for the entire star. In light of this, the students of Baldisian formally accept the commission. We will investigate the Phantom Realm and the beings who call themselves the 12. I'm pleased to hear that, thank you. Without further ado then, I will take a look around. There are a few things I'm curious about. Then, with your permission, I will take myself around Eorzea and investigate the worship of those gods we encountered. Imogen, Derek, seeing as you've already seen this place, would you care to accompany me? Suppose. By all means. In which case... Could you stay here with Quile, my friend? It wouldn't do to leave a fair maiden alone. Ook, ook. Okay, I should be glad for the company. Take care then, and good luck. Yeah, this Derek guy... I suspect there's more than meets the eye. Although that being said, that could be the writer's intentions. But has also shared his observations with me. Keeping your combined accounts in mind, I shall see what else I can learn here. Ook. Ook indeed. So, to explain my plan. It is believed that the 12 were already worshipped during the 3rd Astral Era when the Allagan Empire flourished. Come the 5th Astral Era, those nations that fought in the War of the Magi each took one of the 12 as a guardian deity. This practice has continued to the present day in Eorzea, with some notable regional differences. For instance, Ishgardians hold Halona as absolute, while Sharlayans enjoy a moderate relationship with Thaliak. By visiting various locations in Eorzea and learning about the 12 as they are worshipped, I hope to identify any similarities or differences between them and the beings we encountered. In so doing, I believe we will draw closer to the truth of their identities. For our first destination, I propose we take ourselves to Rolga's Reach. The place is holy ground for worshippers of the Destroyer, and promises to yield useful details. Nods. Waiting. Waiting. But I'd assume we're going to the stone next. Took you so long. There you are, Demagen. This place served as the base of operations for your investigation into Omega, did it not? How delightful to be here together. Fanboy. If you don't mind my making an observation, it seems you enjoy travelling with company. I do. It's something I had dreamed of for a long time. Bless him. There's nothing like travelling with good friends. It's true. It's arguably why I don't travel as much as I should, because my friends are always busy. Is that so? What of yourself? Do you normally travel alone? In my wanderings, I much prefer to have solitude. Not that I avoid people or communities, mind you. As a matter of fact, I've been here before on the trail of the Phantom Realm. Now that I think on it. More often than not, those places where Phantom Realm sightings are known to occur have a tradition of 12 worship. Then I dare to hope that we are on the right track. Or Derek is trying to throw us off. As I'm sure you know, Rolga's Reach is home to the Temple of the Fist, the ancient headquarters of the Fist of Rolga. Raised by the Mad King Theodoric, the temple lay abandoned before the Alamegan resistance claimed it for its operations. While I doubt that much literature has survived over the years, the people here may possess some knowledge of the local faith. So let us split up and make inquiries and reconvene here afterwards to share findings. Nods. Bloodstorm. I vaguely remember Least doing so. Whee! Why did I just jump off the... Oh, hold on. We've actually got markers on the map as to where to look. Where is Lise, anyway? Is she around? Hello, scholarly woman. Yes? If you have business, please make it quick. I'm due to meet with someone any moment now. Forgive me my delay. Why, if it isn't the adventurer who kindly escorted me to the Temple of the Fist. Oh yes, Marjorie. Are you studying amongst two, perchance? That's a while ago. If so, you ought to work together with me and my colleague here. Few things are finer than joining heads with like-minded folk. Researching the worship of the Destroyer, you say? Why didn't you mention it sooner? Because you've just got here. I have this empty hat. This is a copy of Destructivity, a scripture of the Fist of Volga. The original is one of the few texts that survived the temple's razing and is in the safekeeping of one Professor Eric. I went to the trouble of having this made for my colleague, only for her to say she doesn't need it, so I will offer it to you instead. Lest you forget this is your passion, not mine. I'm simply assisting you as a favour, and I'd thank you not to put us in danger. But danger is the crucible in which the monk tempers body and mind. So sublime, monks. She's away with the fairies. Well, we'd best return to our work. Till next time, adventurer. Okay. Oh, if it ain't Demagen, is this man perchance a friend of yours? When last he visited, he shared with me the tales he heard on his journeys, and what amazing tales they were. If you have time, I'd love to hear both of your stories. Alas, we are in some haste. We're investigating the worship of Volga and seek literature on the subject, religious texts and the like. Can any still be found here? Just about all of it's gone, sadly. Destroyed by the Empire, if not the Mad King before that. But we haven't lost everything. The mighty image of the Destroyer, the tales we share at the campfire, like the legend of our nation's founding. We still have these things, and they were a source of great comfort and strength to us in our darkest moments. I see. If you don't mind, I would be obliged to hear your stories this time. Demagen, rest assured I have this well in hand. Feel free to carry on as you were. Will do! You can sum up the stories for me after. I wonder if we're going to do this for each of the 4 gods. My scythe is so shiny! Demagen, what were you able to learn? Stuff. And I have a book. Oh, a book for Graha. Oh, they can actually show it in this cutscene, but they didn't show it in the other one. A copy of one of the scriptures, you say? A moment while I skim over it. 48 hours later. I see. This chapter appears to be a record of the construction of the great image of Volga, written in a style that suggests folklore was committed to parchment. When the deluge of the 6th Umbral Calamity threatened Eorzea, the ancestors of the Alamegans were guided to safety by a comet. Believing that it was sent by Volga, they came to hold him in the highest. This much of the tale I had been familiar with. But according to the scripture, among those refugees who followed the comet, some claimed to have caught sight of Volga himself. Their accounts were passed down through the centuries, and worshippers of the Destroyer pieced them together to give shape to yonder statue. I must say, it bears more than a passing resemblance to the being we encountered. Whether Valga or primal, the explanation for the similarities would be simple. That is, the statue gives rise to a unified interpretation of Valga's appearance, which in turn lends form to the primal. But, however, this fails to account for what inspired the likeness in the first place. If the scripture is to be believed, it was the sightings during the 6th Umbral Calamity. Yet for those witnesses to be able to recognise Volga, they would have needed an agreed-upon idea of his appearance beforehand. If we then consider the history of 12 worship, that it already existed in the 3rd astral era, it would not be ridiculous to think that these divinities existed even prior to that. So the question is, did these beings give rise to their respective faiths, or are they primals born of them? I thought we had made it clear we are not summoned beings. That's the wrong voice. My eyes. Hawk with Volga's voice. Since time immemorial, our domains have lain scattered across Eorzea. As a matter of fact, one of those in which you set foot is nearby. It is not unusual for mortals to glimpse us. That voice. Could they be... Indeed, I am Margot, and the hawk beside me is Volga. I shall elaborate upon my master's explanation. We thus disguise ourselves when we wish to observe the world without, for being seen in our true forms would violate our laws of conduct. You are sparkly, yet though we similarly disguise our sanctums, veiling them in illusions, rents are known to manifest when the surrounding ether is unstable. In such a time, should a gifted mortal chance to be near, they may inadvertently catch sight of us. Of course. During an umbral calamity, etheric imbalances occur on a star-wide scale. The ideal condition for seeing the Phantom Realm. Precisely. No. Try it again. Precisely how many times we have been seen, we may ourselves have no way of knowing, but that is a sound assumption to make. Well, by gods, I believe that much shall suffice by way of an apology for our deception. Shall we? Indeed. That is all we are at liberty to reveal. Fare you well, children of man. Huh. There is yet more to this. Unless we should actually take this all at face value. I mean, that is possible. But we're used to a certain level of deception in storytelling, arguably, in FF14. Aside from their reticence where it concerns their identity and objective, these divinities are certainly approachable. A little bit too approachable, one might argue. If what they say was true and their worship can be traced back to their sightings, it would serve to explain one thing. According to my research, in the field of comparative mythology, Volga is often observed to bear many similarities with Rama. Ramu, however you want to pronounce it. Assuming both were inspired by the Volga of the Phantom Realm, their divergence may be attributed to differences in culture between man and sylph. So, you believe that they gave rise to the prevailing faiths of Eorzea? But what do they do? Given available evidence, yes, I am inclined to. Yet none of this explains their presence. How and when did beings of such power come into existence? And why do they have my number? No. Oh, did you, Kryle? Has something happened? Truly? Very well, I shall take care of it. Kryle has recruited an acquaintance to aid in our investigation, an authority on mythology. I must go and receive her at the Sunken Temple of Kharn, where she is currently conducting fieldwork, after a brief detour to prepare a little something. Conveniently, Thanalan is home to countless adherents of Nald Thal. While I attend to business, may I ask the two of you to make inquiries in Uldar? Very well. Excellent. I will join you as soon as I'm able. By your leave. Off he pops. I wonder who this expert in mythology is. So, it's to be just you and me in Uldar. I suppose it can't be helped. Suppose what can't be helped? The face of an explorer. Oh, does he not like big cities? What strange manners for the one who proposed the survey to so promptly abandon it. I'll not lie, I'm not given to working one-on-one with another, but I suppose I agreed to this arrangement. Well, we'd best be on our way. As I recall, Milvaneth's aquarium is still closed for construction, so let us try a look at Arzeneth Ossuary. You have no objections to travelling separately, I trust? Good. I shall see you in Uldar. I don't trust Eric at all. Something about him is off. Eorzea time and my local time have synced up. How wonderful. If only for a moment. There you are, Eric. Not quite the same as the man we've met. You're here. Odd. Actually, I suppose it does look a little bit similar, doesn't it? Of the deific twins Nald Thal, here they worship Thal, who keeps the realm of the dead and weighs the worth of men's souls. In contrast, Nald keeps the world of the living and oversees their financial fortunes. Their names are borne by many a location and religious organisations, so extremely wealthy and powerful exist to nurture faith in them. On the surface, it may seem strange that a hub of commerce such as Uldar could be home to such spiritual people, but it's actually quite logical when one considers that their religion is, in essence, commerce. Souls as currency. In any event, Nald Thal is a truly unusual divinity. What was originally held to be one god came to be worshipped as twins. Indeed, rather than two distinct entities, that which we encountered was a single being possessed of two personalities. We may have said that a little loud. Did I mishear? Did he just say they encountered Nald Thal? And while his appearance differs somewhat to the divinities worshipped, it can't be denied that there were striking similarities in their nature. We're starting to attract attention. That face. Side eye. Forgive me, this is hardly the place for such a conversation. Let us continue it elsewhere. And off we pop. Yeah, talk about the actual appearance of their god in front of a priest of said god. So it's careless of me to openly speak of our encounter with the divinity within a place where he is worshipped. I just said that, Derek. Hereon I shall exercise greater caution. I thank you for alerting me to my indiscretion and ask that you keep it between us. Now then, to finish our conversation. As I mentioned, though the Nald Thal as worshipped by men appears somewhat different, there are undeniable similarities in their nature. I believe we may report this much to Grahatir. With that, our work here is done. Rather than waiting for our companion to arrive, perhaps we might seek him out at the Sunken Temple? He mentioned needing to make a detour. Were we to set out now, we ought to be able to catch up to him. After all, we hardly know one another. Rather than loiter with an unfamiliar person, 'tis better to use our time productively. Wouldn't you agree? Yeah. Then let us head to the Sunken Temple of Khan at once. What are you wearing, mate? It's cool looking. Oh, it's the elemental stuff. That makes sense. Oh dear. You're here, thank goodness. I found this woman collapsed, though I can see no obvious injuries. By her attire, she appears to be some manner of scholar. Water. Food. In my bag, please. I see. Temperature, may I trouble you to find a bag? I will stand lookout in the meantime. So this is a typical scholarly type. As in one who forgets to eat. Examining the bag, you find a skin with a little water left, but there appears to be no provender. For now, you decide to take the water to the woman. Provender? Provender. Provender. Could have just said food or provisions. So thirsty. So hungry. Ugh. A night empty water skin. Gulp. Not enough food. I need food. And Graha turns up with food. I have not saved dried meat, tough as leather. Do you have anything easier to consume? I've got a load of boiled eggs. That's an appropriate shot. Graha! Imogen, Derek, what are you doing here? Actually, that can wait. Steady, Snoogium. I've put you Archon loaf and coffee, made sweet and creamy just as you like it. What was that? Ah, I am reborn. Washed down with a sweet beverage, the life-giving nutrients of Archon loaf permeate my being from head to toe. Thank you, kind stranger. However you knew my preferred source of sustenance, you are truly a godsend. Oh, it's you, Raha. What brings you here? I don't recall mentioning my fieldwork. From my research into the Beladians, I even know how to pronounce it. The Beladians worship Eorzea, you see. Haven't you heard from Cryle? The students are presently investigating the 12, and we will prevail upon your expertise. I introduce Snoogium, expert mythologist. She is a collaborator of the students, and like many a Charlene scholar, is passionate about her endeavours to the point of forgetting to eat. Seeing as she has recovered, may I ask the two of you to tell her about the Phantom Realm? Well... The 12 abide in the Phantom Realm, and you exchange not only words with them, but blows besides. Incredible. And your description of the domains, a thunderous tower in one and a sweltering city in another, are precisely as the heavens of lightning and fire are depicted in legend. In ancient times, worshippers of the 12 believed that there exist 7 heavens and 7 hells. Indeed. Ethology has since established that departed souls return to the ethereal sea. But it seems those afterlife domains were more than just inventions of mortal imagination. As a pursuer of myths, I must say it feels somewhat anticlimactic to suddenly have these revelations given to me. But more than that, I'm dying to know more, which is to say, please allow me to join your investigation. Ahem, we would of course welcome your presence. Without further ado, then, let us head to the Omphalos. Cryle awaits us there. The novelty music. Right, on... now how do we get... I suppose we go via Revenant's Toll, don't we? I'm going to have to go and read up the section of the... I was going to say the Chronicle, but that's the lore book for World of Warcraft. I'm going to have to go and read up on my Encyclopedia Eorzea Volume 1? Is it that's got the god stuff in? I think it's Volume 1. I'm waiting for Volume 3 with all the Shadowbringers stuff. Welcome back, everyone! And welcome, Snoogium. I'm glad you could join us. Snoogium? Something like that. Cryle, how delighted to see you again. Delightful even to see you again. I understand you've been doing a fine job leading the students. But may I say what a lovely place this is? At a glance, this appears to be the highest of the heavens of legend, the 7th heaven. Doesn't look like a bar. And ooh, if those aren't symbols representing the other heavens. I take it those are their respective gateways. I should like to pay them all a visit. For Snurgim's benefit, let's review what we've learned thus far and then deliberate the next step. She will freak out if any of the gods show up. If that's what they truly are. The gods reappeared before us in Valga's Reach, though they were disguised as unassuming creatures. Their laws forbid them from showing their true forms outside their realm. Yet in the event the ambient ether becomes unstable, such as during an umbral calamity, it is possible for the realm, and indeed the gods themselves, to be glimpsed by mortals. And such sightings, we believe, have given rise to the various faiths practiced throughout Eorzea. As we confirmed in Uldar, the Nalthal worshipped by people and the Nalthal we encountered here have more similarities than they do differences. I wonder if this is a massive prison plane. In the course of exploring the Omphalos, two things caught my attention. Number one. The first is the gate which lies in the innermost area. If each of the other 6 gates leads to an elementally aspected heaven, and we stand in the 7th heaven, as Snuggim says, then what is that one for? What then lies beyond that last gate? The entrance to hell. The second is this monument. It harbours some manner of magic unlike anything I've seen before. I'll endeavour to decipher it, but it will take time. It looks like an aetherite, frankly. Divinities that have existed since time immemorial, who abide in domains resembling the heavens of legends. Why have they chosen to reveal themselves to mortals seeking battle? Unless they favour us with more of their secrets, it would seem this monument holds the key to solving the mystery. Indeed, much and more yet lies beyond our understanding, but we'll keep chasing the truth together. As I'm sure you'll agree, though, this is tiring work, both mentally and physically. We need to pace ourselves and wait another 6 months for another 2 patches. To which end, might I suggest we return to Revenant's Toll and have a rest before we embark on the next stage of our investigation? Snoogram's just got here. She can't be tired already. She's not even seen the gods yet. Or the realms. Derek and the Oppo. There's a reason for this. I don't know what it is. Meanwhile. Oh no, it's just food. That's a lot of sugar cubes. So rarely do I get to simply chat with colleagues, I'd fairly forgotten what it felt like. Indeed, and it's quite fitting that we should be doing so here at the 7th heaven. Fitting? That's an understatement if I've ever heard one. The 7th and highest of the heavens, which rules over the remaining 6, was right here in Mordona all this time. This isn't fitting, my friends, it's destiny. Yes? You are obviously well versed in the myths surrounding the heavens and hells. If you don't mind, I should like to hear your thoughts on them. Straight in there. Proper storyteller. As mythologists tend to be. Invested as they are in their research, it does take much to stoke their passions. My apologies if it makes you uncomfortable. Having always travelled alone, I'm admittedly not too familiar with such a lively atmosphere, but I do not mislike it. By the way, the two of you arrived at the Sunken Temple rather quickly. Did something happen? No idea what you're talking about. Well, as pleasant as this has been, it's fast time we return to the Annex. The paperwork for this commission isn't going to complete itself, alas. Ah, paperwork. Then I shall take myself to the Omphalos. There's so much there that I'd like to see. And I believe I'll go for a walk nearby. It's getting a little warm in here. Alright, do take care now. And take your Oppo with you. The nature of monkey. Oh, Demagen, it's pleasant, isn't it? The smells and sounds of a tavern makes one feel alive. Afterwards, stepping outside alone and breathing the cool air, I like that just as much. While we await developments, I shall remain here in Revenant's Toll. If there are any tidings, rest assured I will share them with you. Thank you for your help thus far. I doubt so much could have been accomplished without you. Yeah, okay, I quite like that. I mean, it's got a skirt, and skirts in FF14 are never really good, but it's passable. It's passable. Oh, I thought I could land on that. So, thoughts then. Can we go back to the Omphalos? Let us sum our thoughts in a place that is appropriate. Oh, also, we could have a quick word with Snuggim. Snuggim? Snuggles? This place is truly amazing. An absolute boon for my research. What interesting tidbits I learn, I will be certain to share with everyone. Oh, you may have noticed, but there are little critters about the place. Based on your accounts, I suspect they are vessels for the gods. Alas, they flee whenever I attempt to go near. That's why there were little mini things. So it's not because of the instances, it's because they're little mini avatars. So the little fish and stuff. So. One of the things that they've done in that storytelling that makes it in some way a little bit unsatisfying is that unless it's too late and I am really tired and it's just gone completely over my head, there really wasn't much in terms of breadcrumbing. You know, a good story, not that I'm saying that this isn't a good story, but a good story that has a mystery will offer foreshadowing, it will offer oodles of potential for speculation, but it will also, if you really examine the details, it will hint at the truth. Maybe in a couple of words, or an odd phrase, or something. Now, if the game had, you know, a 2022 animation budget and facial motion capture and stuff, you may be able to do something more with, you know, Derek's face to show maybe that there's more going on than he's letting on. But it's not. We're working on an engine that's over a decade old. So a lot of the nuance that you might get from acting and body language isn't there, which means that it has to rely on the dialogue. And whilst the dialogue has certainly been full of stuff, plenty of exposition, there's not really been a lot that I could definitely say, yes, this is my theory going forwards. You know, there's no hint as to what the 12 want or are. We know they're not primals, and that's basically it. We know they want us to do something, but they won't tell us what it is. And That's fairly simplistic mystery writing. Again, unless I'm missing something, which, you know, it's possible. It could be. It's what, 12:30 now? No, it's 1 a.m. I don't know. I'm not sure what to think. I'm clearly going to need to do the raid again, or at least watch some guides on the raid for next week. I might even do the raid again, even though I know I can't get loot from it, because I've got this rather pretty dress, which looks lovely. Like this, when I'm static, it's just, you know, when you're moving, this iffy. It goes really nicely actually with the green of my tathlums as well. It always looks daft when doing the ready stance, though. Especially from that angle where it looks like I've got no legs. The raid itself, I'm definitely going to need to have some more goes at and to watch my footage back and just to see what was going on, because I was lousy in that raid. But likewise, I knew I probably would be, because it's been months since I last played. You know, this isn't like the 6.0 stuff where I could go from, I could go straight into the raids. Although I was really ill, wasn't I? When I did 6.0's stuff. I did it all as Reaper, didn't I? Yeah. Because I hadn't got the item level on Dark Knights. That was weird. Yeah, so I was in the zone for that. I wasn't in the zone for this at all. It'll be really interesting to watch the fights back and to just see how many things that are probably more obvious than I realised. So yeah, I'm kind of torn, essentially, on Aglaia. I love a good mystery, but I also like a mystery that offers just a little bit more sustenance and substance for people that are really paying attention. Maybe it's got that, and maybe I wasn't really paying attention. But story is generally my thing. So, yeah, maybe I've just missed something. Let me know your thoughts on the matter down in the comments below. Obviously, if there is official stuff that I've not talked about, that, you know, official stuff that's already been released, again, let me know where I can go and what I can see. But yeah, no spoilers, no proper kind of we know this is where it's going next, because I don't think I want to know that. I want to kind of be surprised and work it out for myself. Don't know how I'll have broken this video up. It's 2 hours 13 minutes at time of saying these words. I might have broken it up into pre-raid, raid, and post-raid. That's what I normally do. We'll see. I hope you've enjoyed the videos regardless. If you have, leave a like. Speculate down below with me. By all means, tell me how bad I was in those fights, because unlike some of the previous ones where I've picked up some mechanics, I really did feel like I didn't do very well in any of those. I probably should have gone in as Dark Knights. I like Dark Knight because it's simple. I can play it without thinking. I need to go and do some dungeons on Sage as well, just to remind myself how to play that. Have yourselves a fabulous day, folks. Catch you all in the next videos. Cheerio. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, why not click the like button and consider subscribing. Remember, you can ring the bell notification icon to get notified when new videos go live. And until next time, cheerio.